Hi everybody, Jeff from Ohio. I'm just going to do a walkthrough of the whole garden. I'm kind of redoing this. Something didn't work out real well with the video the other night. So this is the garden beside the house. We have squash and cucumber growing up. I actually planted some additional cucumber in there, so that should be coming soon. That was part of our volunteer squash coming through here. And originally we planted kale. I think we've taken all the kale out. Looks like it's all gone. And volunteer tomatoes coming up. So planted kale, got tomatoes and squash. We have tomatoes coming. Need to go fix some of the training here on the tomatoes. We had peas in the front, and now these have switched over to peppers. These are coming. There's 4 different kinds of peppers in there. Those look good. And hopefully onions will come up, but I don't have too much of a hope there on onions right now. Then in a raised garden, million cherry tomatoes. Additional, these are basically slicer tomatoes, or big boy tomatoes. Couple of peppers over in here, which we've been pulling peppers off of this here for the last few weeks. Those are doing well. And over in that other garden, I had transplanted cabbage that actually came out of here, but it didn't look like it transplanted well. So I'm not sure why, but I've got lettuce in here now. In that blank spot, maybe you can see a little bit of it popping up right there. So we have lettuce starting to come up, and there's actually marigold mixed in there, and we still have some carrots. Kale growing here. We eat a lot of kale, we eat a lot of spinach. And some different herbs and spices. Then over beside the house, tomatoes, and hopefully these are going to ripen here in the next week. A lot of tomatoes. We're going down to Kentucky with my daughter to make spaghetti sauces and stuff, but a little bit concerned that those aren't going to be ready. And then we head to the back. Need to look for our dog. I don't know where she went. Yoki, come on. Oh, and there's Nigel out there mowing, and there's Yoki. Come on, Yoki. Ready? Let's go. And out back. Big expansion of the garden out here. We kind of refer to this as our vineyard. 3 rows of grapes. 6 different kinds. We've got grapes coming up, and they're actually starting to turn purple too. So we'll have grapes pretty soon. Strawberries are expanding. Right there is our 3rd succession planting of spinach. That's actually New Zealand spinach, which grows in the heat. I actually like it better than regular spinach, but it doesn't grow well in spring or fall. 1 cabbage right there, and 4th succession planting of spinach right here. Grapes, flowers, and there's squash. This is spaghetti squash up front. We've actually pulled a lot of this off. We got more growing, and then more squash right here. And we've got broccoli and different things in there. And here in the middle, we just planted more lettuce. which is coming up and doing well. And if you notice the cardboard is on there to help keep the grass down and the weeds down, and it also holds the moisture into the soil. And everything that we pull up from the grass, what you see right here, we use that as mulch around this. So this weekend I'll probably throw some of this dead grass on there. Okra. I think we're going to have great okra. Oh, I see an okra over there I need to pick. Looks like we're going to have a lot of okra here this year. Melons in here. And watermelon and pumpkin. So this is sort of the melon area over in this part. And you can see there's one okra right there. And these are great, actually. So we bread them and then fry them. The giant sunflowers coming up. And over here we picked the rest of this kale that was on there. And then basically all that's left in these two pots are sweet potatoes. Regular potatoes in here, which are getting, I think, pretty close. Looks like I'm probably going to, next couple of days, harvest those potatoes. Onions. And over in our archway, this is going to be our second succession planting of green beans. I've got more cucumbers in here. These are specifically pickling cucumbers. More cucumbers. These are dying off right now, but I have a few left on here. So they grow up the archway and over top. And then I've got a Japanese cucumber coming in here too. Third succession planting of corn. Corn right now is roughly 4 to 5 feet tall. So that should be good here in a few weeks. Nasturtium dying off. Sweet potatoes. This was our first planting of sweet potatoes right there. And then we move on down. We have the prolific summer squash, which is truly prolific. That is putting out a lot of summer squash. We actually have a cabbage in here, but there's also spinach. And then the entire row of summer squash. And then more cherry tomatoes, of course. Then inside of here, it's hard to see, but that's new corn coming up. That'd be the fourth succession planting of corn right there. That's the third one that's coming. And we have carrots and radishes coming up over here. And then, oh, I forgot. We had cabbage growing up in there too. There's cabbages down there. Underneath those little mounds. And then this is long squash, which I think it's because the squash is long, not because the vines itself are approximately 40 feet. But we have 40 feet of vines right in here. And then Roma tomatoes, which hopefully I'll have a bunch of these in a week. And then zucchini. So we've got multiple zucchini coming up in here, getting ready, and then we planted 4 more zucchini in here. I think that one is pretty much didn't make it, but the other 3 are making it. In another week or so, after the corn kind of takes root, I'll come in and I'll pull up the grass and stuff and the weeds in here, but you can see some of the corn coming up. I had to go back and backfill in here a little bit. And then at that point, I'll use some of this dead grass along the side to come in and mulch around it. And then we got green beans mixed in, and finally end up with more cherry tomatoes. And I think that is it. So, been pretty successful year with the garden. Bye.